So today I'm really excited to talk to you about a company that may be coming onto quite a bit of money without having to do the heavy lifting themselves. Hi, this is Fabi with Equity Guru, and today I want to tell you about a gold company that went pretty much from exploration to development like this without any of their own money. The currency exchange is very much in their favor, and there's a lot going for them. Tiny, tiny, tiny company, but with lots of potential. So let's take a look.
So here we have Altamira Gold. Before I go into the details of where they are and all the good stuff that's happening here, let's just take a look at their profile quickly. So they're going for 6 cents for a total of about 4.2 to 4.5 million Canadian market cap. They're a very small company, and some of the things that are happening here are very timely. So these are new things that if you haven't seen for the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months, then you would have easily missed. So they're in the northwest part of Brazil, in the Alta Floresta region. Just as a heads up, this highway here, the BR-163, has just been paved after a 43-year hiatus and finished here mid-February 2020. So there's more infrastructure coming to this area than ever before. That's great. But obviously, that's just one small part of the puzzle. So the interesting thing is that they have been an explorer for quite some time. The thing is, when you want to move from explorer to actual producer, it is a very, very, very long, expensive road. And what happens is you're fighting for financing with people with maybe bigger projects, and it makes it very, very tough, especially because financing in the gold space has been very difficult for the smallest juniors. So what they did is something very smart. So here you see that just in January, they published Altamira receives bulk sampling license for trial mining at the Cajueiro Gold Project, Brazil. So how did they go from, trying to find out what's underneath the ground and drilling to actual bulk sampling and trial mining? Well, this is what they did. They did a JV, a joint venture with FMS, which is a local miner in Brazil. And basically you can read here with more details exactly what went on afterwards. I just want to summarize it for you. So $2.4 million is what the actual plant processing facility is going to cost. So to build out a small scale mining process facility is going to cost approximately $2.4 million. So hold that thought for a while, okay? Altamira Gold is not going to pay anything in this build out. What they're going to do is they're going to start mining. FMS is going to start mining some of the area that is known to have gold. And after they get their money back, they're going to have a 50-50 split between FMS and Altamira, where basically Altamira just says, sure, you can come in and start mining some of this gold that we've had. We're not going to wait several years to have the PFS ready and then the feasibility study, a bankable feasibility study ready, and then trying to raise financing, because that might take several years. So they're allowing these guys to come in, build this out, start mining this year, and start getting this money in so that they don't have to come to the market all the time in order to raise more money and finance some of their other very interesting projects as well. This to me is a very smart move. There's pretty much zero costs to get this going. And at the end of the day, they are going to make some serious money here, I believe, if this goes well. Why do I say this? Remember I told you about this $2.4 million? That's the cost that FMS is going to incur. Well, it just so happens that all these studies, both in the cost of this project and in the profitability of the gold ounces that are in the ground, they are based on the dollar to the local currency from maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. What has been happening is that the local currency has been devaluing for the last 6 months very, very steeply. So I believe that during that time, we've lost, I don't know, maybe 10% of the value. That means that this project and all the projects in Brazil essentially have become about 10% more profitable because gold is sold in dollars. So if you're looking at companies in Brazil that are close to production, this is a huge plus. This is perfect timing here. I'm pretty sure they didn't think about this when they were signing the papers, but it has turned out to be very much in their favor. They are also raising $1.5 million to see them through this year. Okay, so if you're an accredited investor and you're interested in the story, then definitely contact the company. They are offering not just common shares, but they're also offering warrants to go with that. Okay, and that's for 2 years. You can contact them and get more information on that. But back to where they are here. So Cajueiro is probably the area that's more advanced. They have, however, Santa Helena. So what's going to happen is they're going to start basically making money from the money that's in the ground in this northern region here. But something very special could happen in Santa Helena. Why do I say that? Because this is very close to an area that is known to have a very large copper discovery. And so you will see that there are a lot of majors, Anglo, Nexa, etc., coming into this region because there's a lot of copper that has been found. There was pretty much a gold rush back in the 70s in Brazil for this whole region here. They're trying to find the source of the gold. And there is also now sort of a copper rush in this region here pertaining to a recent discovery made, I believe in 2017 or 2018. Yeah, here we go. We have it here, September 2017. That's when copper was found here in a big way. Let's just put it like that. So this is some information from last January. Board and management owns 12.6% of the total market cap. That's quite healthy. The FMS group, which is the people actually building out their small-scale mining, owns just under 10%. And then a strategic investor is at 6.2%. So how much gold is there in the ground? With a decent amount of certainty, about 0.7 million ounces. So 700,000 ounces of gold. Now, if you did some quick math, okay, on just the 160,000 here that is measured and indicated, let's just take the part with the most certainty. And let's do some quick math here. So 160,000, if they were to mine that out, let's say 160,000, 1, 2, 3. And let's say that with gold at 1600, 1650, they were to make, I don't know, let's call it $500 per ounce. And these are all just, very hypothetical numbers that I'm throwing out there. Then you're looking at $80 million. Okay, so this is $80 million on a possible total return for both Altamira and their JV. But they're keeping just under half of this. And so you're looking at something closer to $40 million on just this JV if, in fact, it turns out that they will mine this whole area here. And that's just assuming a very high cost of mining, to be honest, to be able to only keep $500 per ounce. I'm being extremely conservative. But it's nice to do these calculations just for you to understand just how undervalued this company may be if the total market cap for all of their projects is 4.5. One of the ways that I decide whether a company is good or not is whether they actually follow through with what they have promised, and this is something that has happened here. So you have the trial mining agreement signed with FMS in August. You have the high-grade surface sample results from APIACAS, and you see this actually playing out. Financing announcement end of last year to this year. Trial mining license expected. This has happened here. And then the construction of the trial mining plant from February to June. So we could be seeing small-scale production start this summer. So that's very, very fast. Extremely low cost. And you can also see that they're going to be drilling Santa Elena and APIACAS a little bit more. Not a huge project by any means, but some interesting stuff happening here as well. JV discussions with copper majors is something I'm very interested in. I know that a lot of copper has been found in this region, so this could happen at any point. Fingers crossed. We'll see a JV coming from them quite soon. You never know. And as I was saying, the Santa Elena project sits right here, and you can tell that this region has been claimed by some very, very large players. You can see that Jaca is the place where Anglo found, let's just say, a large amount of copper. Can't tell you exactly how much. I am not privy to this information, but I've heard that there's quite a lot of copper here. Hence the staking all around this region. And just a quick reminder that Altamira is really the only explorer, the only junior explorer in this region here. That's right in the middle of what's going on. Everybody else who's in this party is quite established multi-billion-dollar companies. Cajueiro, very interesting project with still lots of upside potential. You will hear a lot about this project going forward as we move on with the trial mining. And last, I just want to mention here the Moontum target. They have seen quite recently, like I told you, just over 6 to 8 months ago, some very interesting results in this region with 12 meters of 2.0 grams per ton. This is actually very high compared to their other projects, which sit at around 1 gram per ton, which in this region can still be quite profitable, especially when they're not putting any money into building the trial mining facility. So this to me is possibility of something very interesting as well, obviously with the money that they will make with their trial mining operations with FMS. This region can be very well explored from those profits. So that's it. That's Altamira Gold on the TSX-V. The symbol is ALTA, ALTA. They're also in the OTC pink sheets and on the FSE with symbols EQTRF on the OTC and T6UP on the FSE.
That's it for me today. Do know that I do still hold stock in Altamira Gold and I may buy or sell it at any point. That's it. Do your own due diligence and take care of your money. Happy investing.